Hi, everybody. So today in math, we continued our work with subtraction. And this week, we really focused on today, we really focused with subtraction with 3 and 4 digit numbers. I wanted to push those into word problems, but I noticed we still had a few misconceptions when it came to subtracting with the place value chart. So we're going to spend one more day today talking about that. So if you give me a second, I will put on our Elmo, and we're going to start the day with looking at the first problem we did today, and that was our application problem. I'm going to read the problem, and then I'm going to walk you through how we solved it. Sally found 532 seashells on the beach. She gave Layla 378 for her birthday. How many seashells did Sally have left? So if you want to pause the video right now, you're more than welcome to and work it out with your scholar, and then come back and see how I solved it. So the first thing we should understand is that Sally found 532 seashells. That's super important because that tells us how many she has. So I'm going to write that out. And then she gave up. Gave means that she's going to lose something. And normally if you lose something, that means we're on the fast track to subtraction. And I see that she gave Layla 378 seashells as well. So I'm going to pull that out. So she has this, and then she gave 378 seashells. So I know based off of these three easy things that we're going to be subtracting. But I need to finish reading my problem. How many seashells does Sally have left? Again, left is that big key word for subtraction. All right, so I know based off my question and what we see that our problem is going to be 532 minus 378. So we broke this down into our hundredths chart. So the first thing we're going to draw our line to see how many places we need in our graph. This is our 1, this is our 10, this is our hundreds. I know in the first number we put it in the graph, put in graph. And then the second number means to take out. So I'm now going to go ahead and draw out my chart to help me subtract. Now I know a lot of y'all can subtract this vertically just fine, but we do this with the HCO chart so we can better see how the numbers move across the number line. We have hundreds, and then we have tens, and we have ones. All right, I'm going to go ahead and draw out my first number, 1, 2, and 30, 1, 2, 3. And then 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, I learned this today, and I thought it was really, really kind of cool. I know that the bottom number I'm subtracting, so I'm going to kind of write those numbers down so I know. In the ones place, I'm going to subtract 8. In the tens place, I'm going to subtract 7. And in the tens place, I'm going to subtract 3. And so now I know in every place value, I don't have to keep going back and forth and looking. I now know in the bottom of my number, this is what I'm going to subtract. So when I come to my ones, I'm subtracting 8, but I can't do that. So you go to your tens, you borrow a 10, and then you place your 10 down. So now I can subtract my 8 pretty easily. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I am going to have 4 left. So then we come to our tens, and I am subtracting 7. So I need to go and borrow 100. So I'm going to move 100 over. Circle what we grouped. Then subtract our 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that leaves me with, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That leaves me with 5 left. And now all you do is subtract our 3. So 1, 2, 3, and that leaves me with 1. But we're not done yet. We have to check our work. So we have 378 plus 154. I know that 8 plus 4 is 12. Carry my 1. 7 plus 5 is 12. Plus 1 is 13. Carry my 1. 1 plus 3 is 4. Plus 1 is 5. And as you see, our numbers match up. That means we have gotten the correct answer. So Sally has 154 seashells left. That would be your answer. So I know it looks like a lot of work, but once your scholar has been able to master this entire area, we can just move straight to the vertical form of subtracting. But I do really like this way because this is a foolproof way of always being able to answer your problems correctly because you see and you manipulate all the numbers as you go. So as we work through today, we worked with a couple of problems today, and I'm going to work out those problems with you right now. So the first problem we worked on was 5,302 minus 2,873. So then we took this number and we drew our lines through it, and then we labeled it ones, tens, hundreds, and then thousands. Now I know that I'm subtracting, so the first number gets put in, the second number we're going to take out. So I'm going to draw up my chart. Thousands, hundreds, tens, and then ones. We're going to draw that first number in there. 1, 2. Oh, look, 0 in the tens place, so we're not going to put anything there. 3 in the hundreds, and then 5 in the thousands. Okay, now we're going to end up subtracting. So we're going to write this number on the bottom so we know what number comes out of each place value. So I need to take a 3 out of the ones, a 7 out of the tens. I'm taking an 8 out of the hundreds. And then I'm going to take a 2 out of the thousands. So now we can go ahead and subtract. So I have minus 3 up here. Well, I can't take 3 out of 2, so I got to go to my neighbor. Uh-oh, I can't borrow anything from my neighbor. So I got to go to my hundreds now. So we're going to take this 100 and move it next door. That gives us 10. Circle that 10 so we don't lose it. Now I can move my 10 next door over to the ones. Now you have successfully carried over. So now I can take out 3. 1, 2, 3. And that leaves me with 9. Then we go to our thousands and we're taking out 7. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That gives us a 2 in the tens place. Notice again that when I move this 10 to the 1, it's already marked off. So I'm not going to recount that because that number is not there anymore. So we do not recount this dot. Everything else is free game. Now we go to our hundreds and I'm taking out 8, but I can't do that. So go to your thousands, and we're going to borrow 1 over, then we're going to put it over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now we're going to minus 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that gives me 4 in the hundreds place. Now what we can do is subtract our 2. 1, 2, and that leaves me with 2 left. So my answer is 2,429. One more time, as soon as most kids master this, a lot of them will tend to jump over to the vertical form of subtraction. But again, we just want to make sure that they have a complete understanding of the place value form of subtraction. And then lastly, we need to check our work. 2,873 plus 2,429. 9, 10, 11, 12, carry your 1, that's 10, carry your 1, that's 13, carry your 1, and that's 5. So this number matches our top, and all 3 numbers match. All right. Now, the last problem we're going to work with today is going to be one of the a problem that a lot of kids had a little bit of issue with, and that would have been 4,000 minus 1,644. Now, that might seem pretty easy, but a lot of kiddos struggle because these 2 zeros we end up having to double borrow from. Okay, so let's look at this through our chart. We draw our lines. I have 4 numbers, ones, tens, hundreds, and then thousands. That means that's what I'm going to draw on my chart. Thousands, hundreds, tens and ones. I'm going to draw my numbers in, 4. But look, notice how I have zeros up here? Nothing's going to go here. Now I'm going to write out what I'm subtracting. I need to take a 4 out of here, a 4 out of here. I need to take a 6 out of the hundreds. I need to take a 1 out of the thousands. Notice that these numbers match these numbers. Okay, now let's start subtracting. 4 out of nothing. Well, you cannot do that. So I'm going to borrow from the thousands. Take 1,000 and you'll make 10 hundreds. Now I can take 100 and make 10 tens. Now I can take 110 and make 10 ones. And don't forget to circle what you carry. Now, all you have to do is do an easy subtraction. Minus 4 from here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that gives you 6 left over. Minus 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That leaves you with 5. Minus 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That leaves you with 3. And then just minus 1. Boom. That leaves you with 2. Now do one last thing. We're going to check our work. 2,356 plus 1,644. This will be pretty easy. 6 plus 4 is 10. Carry my 1. 1 plus 5 plus 4 is 10. Carry my 1. 1 plus 3 plus 6 is 10. Carry my 1. 1 plus 2 plus 1 is 4. And look at that. Our numbers match. So I'm going to say it again. I know a lot of y'all like to use the vertical form of subtraction, and that's great. We are really focusing on making sure that our kiddos master our place value chart before we moved over. This is something that your kiddos have already learned. We did this at the beginning of the school year, and I really wanted to focus these last 2 days on making sure that they understand this chart. Moving into next week, we plan on covering multiplication, and I'm super excited to see everybody. So thank you all for coming by. It was an absolute pleasure. I love seeing everybody. Miss Winter loves seeing everybody. Miss Jennings loves seeing everybody. And we'll see you again next time. Bye.